Good morning. You're watching Ask Profit. I'm Smriti Chaudhary and with me is
Mathew.
And for the next 30 minutes, we'll take all your stock-related questions. You can write to us on the WhatsApp number that's flashing on your screen right now. You can also write to us on any of our social media channels or through the YouTube live chat. We'll also try to take a caller. Will we?
We will try. Let's see how that goes. But I must say, Smriti, Merry Christmas in advance.
Same to you.
And Merry Christmas to everybody tuning in as well. Because obviously Christmas this time is going to be on Monday and it's going to be a holiday. So we will see you, or rather Smriti will see you on Tuesday. I'm going to be on leave for a day. But all the same, Merry Christmas to you and your family, and hope that the holidays are lovely for you. Let's take you through what's happening with the markets right now. And you have the benchmark indices that are trading with gains. In fact, the Nifty 50 at close to the high point of the day, up about 0.6% or thereabouts. And the broader markets are doing even better. So you have the mid-cap index that's up about just about a percent or so. And you have the small-cap 250 index that's up over a percent at this juncture. Overall, the market breadth tilted very firmly in favor of the advances. In fact, let's pull up the advance decline ratio just to elucidate that point, and you will see that the advances are clearly in the winning seat right now. There you go. And yesterday in trade, I must point out that there was quite a bit of a divergence over the course of the session. We ended up, of course, with quite a big split between the two. We've got Aditya Arora, who's multi-asset research analyst at Adlytic Stock Market Research, joining us right now. And we've also got another guest. Let's pull that up as we speak. We've got Rohan Mehta, who's founder and portfolio manager, Turtle Wealth, joining in. I think we just have Aditya right now, though. Smriti.
Right. But thanks for the market check. But we're going to specifically focus on two stocks today. Allcargo Logistics and Allcargo Gati. These two are in focus today. Allcargo Logistics has risen to about 9.5%, while Allcargo Gati is seeing some sell-off with, and it's down about 3.7%. If you can pull up the chart for that as well. Now that's because of the amalgamation scheme that the company has come out with. So there are two transactions that are happening. One is it'll demerge. Allcargo Logistics will demerge its international supply chain business, which will be post demerger called Allcargo ECU. This will be listed on the stock exchanges separately. Now it's important to note that this business contributed 88% to the revenue of Allcargo Logistics in FY23. So this is the first transaction. The second transaction is the merger of Gati into Allcargo Logistics. So that's the second, which is probably why we're seeing a sell-off in Allcargo Gati today. For swap ratio, Allcargo shareholders will get 1:1 shares in the demerged Allcargo ECU. So that's pretty much the roundup of the two transactions. We'll talk to our guest on this today.
But I believe we're still waiting for Rohan to join in. So right. While we do that, why don't we get a few technical questions out of the way. We already have quite a few questions that have been building in, and just a reiteration of that, you can send your questions to us on any one of our social media platforms or indeed on the WhatsApp number. Rohan, first on these stocks that we've been talking about, Allcargo Logistics as well as Allcargo Gati, any specific recommendations that you have about these two? Apologies, Aditya.
Yeah, very good morning and Merry Christmas to you and everybody over here. So the stocks which we are discussing right now, Allcargo Logistics, that looks pretty fine on the charts, and I think it's a pullback. It's a nice comeback of bulls, if you talk so, and the chart looks very fantastic for a bull ride going ahead. So this stock could be bought actually at 311.75, and stop loss should be 280 and target should be 340 to 370. So the times ahead looks very good for Allcargo Logistics. Although Allcargo Gati has little subdued chart, there isn't much interest over there. So we'll avoid that and concentrate on Allcargo Logistics.
All right, thanks for that. We have Rohan joining us also. Rohan, we were just talking about Allcargo Logistics and Gati. Now, Allcargo Logistics is on an uptick today, but we're seeing some sort of sell-off in Gati happening, maybe because of the two transactions that we just spoke about. How are you viewing this two in the next, I think it'll close in the next 10 to 12 months. How are you viewing this sort of restructuring to play out for the two companies?
Hi, good morning. First of all, we hold Allcargo from now last to 2 years in our portfolios, in our PMSs on the disclaimer point. See, that's a very interesting move this company has done from last two companies which they have demerged already. And then again, two companies are been going to demerged with bonus. So we are seeing this as a very important move because, the Allcargo is going to be now valued onto Allcargo terms and not the merged companies. And what we have seen is that merged companies over the period of time creates exceptional value, than the parent company. So it's a very, very decent valued company, available at a great valuation, and the level of the 180 countries, the logistic business, what they have is something which is exceptional. We were surprised in last 1 year why it didn't do so good, but now it looks like that, the things are getting moved into it. So 1 year, it would be one of the very interesting Nifty 500 companies to look forward for.
All right. Thanks so much, Rohan, for that. Let's jump straight into the questions. And we've got Mohit asking the first question. He's writing in from Ludhiana. And he's saying that he's got 1,500 shares of Shipping Corporation of India, which he bought at levels of 39.4 per share. Considering, various aspects of this, he's asking whether it can be held for the next couple of years. Rohan, what's the view?
Yeah, I think so. SCI is a decent company, but still I would look forward for company on the shipping bad. G Shipping looks an exceptional value to me. So a long-term point of view, as shipping, G Shipping should be swapped with SCI. That would be an interesting wealth creation.
All right. Next up, we're talking about Polycab. We're seeing some weakness in Polycab today. It's down about 4%. This comes after media reports suggesting there are IT raids happening across locations for the company. But let's take a view on the company, keeping this aside. Rohan, tell us, based on the fundamentals, how do you view the company and what's the target for the next 1 to 2 years?
You see, Polycab is a very interesting. It has created an exceptional leadership onto the business in last 4-5 years. Has been a superior wealth creator in wires and cables. But now look forward for at the valuation point of view. I think so. We should wait for 2 to 3 quarters to come the value bit higher than the price what it is quoting about at 81,000 crore market cap at 50 times valuation. It looks now a bit of tired on a way the wealth creation has happened. So we will look forward for the whole segment specifically for 1 or 2 quarters, and then the profitability rises and surprises. Then we would be interesting. So for the investor who is holding, I don't think so there is a concern, but for the new investments, I believe that it's the time to wait.
Okay, this next question is from Lahu, and Lahu is writing in from right here in Maharashtra, Kalyan, Dombivli, and he's asking about Suzlon Energy. Let's pull that chart up. He's bought at levels of 30, and the stock is currently at 37.3. Remember, this is a stock that has gained very substantially over the past several months. The question is, should he hold or should he sell? And if he does have to sell, then at what price? What do the charts indicate to you, Aditya?
Right. So it had a stellar move from almost levels of 8 to almost 44 in a very short time, and that is on basis of very good fundamental changes that are happening in the company. Shareholding is also changing. A lot of institutions are taking part in it, but charts are equally good, and he must hold at these levels. The currently stock is trading at 37.35, and the stock looks all poised to rise to levels like 45-50 in the near term. So the trend is bullish. He must hold at these levels. He must maintain stop loss levels of 32, and upside levels I see is 45 to 55. So the outlook is bullish.
All right. Next counter that we're talking about is NECC Limited, which is Northeastern Carrying Corporations. The question is from Khurshid. He's written to us from Srinagar. And his time horizon is 3 years on the stock. He's already bought the stock at 34. Rohan, do you have a view on this specific counter?
I'm sorry, but I don't track this.
All right, we'll take it to Aditya then. How does the charts look for this NECC?
If we talk about short-term view, then the stock looks little muted, very short-term, like 1 week or so. But if the horizon is 1 to 2 months, 3 months, then probably there's more upside over here to levels like 35 to 40. So if the view is for few months, then the stock looks good.
All right. We've got Pramod from Trishur asking about Avalon Tech, and this is an EMS company. It has gained quite substantially in the year to date, I believe around 38% or thereabouts. We've got Pramod, who has bought at levels of 416. He's bought as many as 250 shares. Let's pull up the chart and see where Avalon Tech is currently trading, if we can do that. In the meanwhile, let's go to Rohan. Rohan, what's the view on this? What's the view on this particular counter? And if you don't have a view on this, then would you have a view on the EMS space? What, according to you, is the top pick?
Sorry, I don't have a view on Avalon Tech and EMS space. Also, we don't track very closely, so no views.
Okay, fair point. All right, let me get you then a check, Pramod, on the charts. Aditya, can you help us out with a view on Avalon Tech? Should it currently be sold? It's seeing gains of about 3% in trade today.
Correct. The stock looks very good on the charts. And if you see, it had a stellar run from 350 to almost 700 in a short time. And the chart looks very good. So he must hold these investments. And even if the fresh, if he wants to pour in fresh money, he can do so at 552. Stop loss should be 500 and the target would be 600 to 700. So the outlook is pretty good.
All right. Next up, we're talking about IDFC Limited. This one's from Rafi from Chennai. He's already bought shares at 600 per share, and the stock is slightly up today and is trading around 124 levels. So a little bit of a profit there. Rohan, how does it look fundamentally?
Yeah, I think so. IDFC is looking brilliant. The way it has formed and the worst has been over now. There has been a lot of other incomes which has popped down in the company. But if you look forward to the worst side of last 4-5 years, everything has gone out. And let us not forget that it has done a consolidation of more than now, 15, 14 years. My co-analyst will, give a better view. But I think so the time is, to hold on and accumulate more. And if, at least it should be 4 to 5% of the portfolio. It's a very interesting company at 20,000 crore of market cap. We believe nothing to lose out more into it.
All right. Aditya, do you have a target price for IDFC?
For sure. Just a second. Absolutely, as rightly pointed out by Rohan, that stock has been in a long-term consolidation. We almost saw the previous big swing high in 2008, where the price was 115, and those prices are actually breached this year only. So stock had been in consolidation for more than 10, 15 years. So that's very good. And once that happens, the stock comes in a very big bull run. So I see upside target of almost 150 to 200 and even beyond, because whenever such 10-year breakouts happen, we see almost 100 to 200% jump in a stock. So I completely concur with him, and I think the stock looks very good on the charts.
All right. Gentlemen, do stay with us, and viewers, we'll be back after this very quick break. I have promised Mukesh that I will take his question first. Mukesh, do stay tuned, and the rest of you as well. We'll be back before you know it. Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit, and this is where we get answers to all of your stock-related questions. I promised Mukesh that I would get his question answered, and he's looking for a fundamental view on Morpen Labs. Let's pull up the stock and see what it's currently trading. He's bought at levels of 40, he says, and he's bought as many as 500 shares. Rohan, what's the fundamental view on Morpen Lab? Should he hold on?
I think so on fundamental points. See, first of all the pharma companies have been revival is happening, so it's a fair point. But if you look forward for API segment, and specifically where 58% of the revenue comes from Morpen Lab, the profitability is still not that interesting. So I would rather say that it's the time to, as it rises, take up some profits and put it into certain companies in pharma, which is looking more stronger. Companies like Zydus Life, Sun Pharma, or maybe, Marksans Pharma is looking interesting. So Morpen Lab is not that interesting in comparison of a lot of peers available.
That's the fundamental, advice that is given. Aditya, I'm going to come to you then on a good selling price for Morpen, and therefore also a buying price for the two stocks that were just mentioned, which is Sun Pharmaceuticals and Marksans.
Varun Beverages, whatever that is.
Yeah,
I think
go ahead.
Morpen has been a range-bound stock for many years now. Usually the stock rises from, rises like a phoenix from, very low levels like 8 to 9, and then goes up to 50, 60 and falls from there. So the established resistance for the stock is almost 55, 65. In these levels, he could take some profit off the table. So this is the advice for Morpen. And if you look at, let me check the charts of Sun Pharma. So Sun Pharma looks very good. It's trading at multi-week high and 52-week high. That shows inherent strength in the stock price. So Sun Pharma could be bought at 1235, and stop loss should be 1140, and target should be 1350 to 1400. And Zydus is also rising since last few days. There are good volumes on the chart. So Zydus Life Science could be bought at 682, and stop loss should be 600, and target would be 750 to 830. So that's the view on Zydus and Sun Pharma.
Next up, we're talking about Varun Beverages. This one's from Hasmukh Rawal. He's already bought 500 shares at levels of 1035. Now, the stock has been on an uptrend in the last two sessions, but today it has fallen about 4.5% right now. He wants to know the target for 1 year holding. So Rohan, I'm going to come to you on this. And we've seen some targets by these brokerages. For some reason, these targets are either at the current price or lower than the current price. Could you explain to us why that is, and also what's your target for this specific stock?
See, PBL has been spectacular, right? There's no debate about it, but everything comes with a price. So I believe that stock time trading at 90, 80, 85 times to the current earning is something which is extremely expensive. I believe, and then there are things which was there in news of the mergers and all the things which has happened, and it is already done now. So maybe 2 or 3 years down the line, what the company is going to grow has been, seen in the price. So somewhere around, I would be onto the point that it's a good time to take out some profits and, wait for 2 to 3 quarters and then see the returns and then invest into it, because 80 times to a stock with this uptrend looks a bit of taking profits. It is overdue, to have a consolidation. So, and if you're looking forward for now 2 to 3 years, I don't feel that then there will be more than single digit growth into the company in the way of price, because profits are already brilliant and it is taken over.
Okay. So Jagdish has a question that is not related to any stocks, but he's asking whether physical shares can still be converted into demat. Any deadline? I believe the deadline was in fact the 31st of March of 2023. And from a quick search, I'm finding that there isn't an immediate solution to this, but allow me a little time and I'll try and find you more details, Jagdish, on this one. Let's take Soumyan's question. MMTC and MEP Infra, the two counters that he'd like to look at, and he's asking for a view. I'm not very sure whether this is a short-term technical view or a fundamental view, so let me go across to Rohan for a fundamental view on these two counters. Do you have coverage one, and would you suggest a buy in any one of these two?
First you said MMTC, and what was the second?
Infra.
Sorry, I don't have coverage on both of them.
Okay, on both of them. All right, let me go across to you then. Aditya, do you have a view on the charts? And if so, what would the recommendation be?
Correct. So metal counters have been in limelight these days because of collapsing dollar. It has come one way down, and falling dollar has negative correlation with metal companies. So that is one of the tailwinds which is acting for all these metal counters. And MMTC is quite finely consolidating at lower levels. So MMTC could be bought at 59 and stop loss should be 53. Target should be 65 to 75. And the second one, MEP, saw significant volume in such a long time, one of the highest volumes in a very long time. So MEP has some institutions interested in the counter. So on back of that, this counter could be bought at 16.50 and 12 rupees should be the stop loss and target would be 20 to 23 rupees.
All right. Next up, Saurabh has written to us and he's talking about two counters, Ashoka Buildcon and Tata Power. And he wants a view on this. So I'll take a longer term view on both of these counters. Rohan, how do these two look for the longer term, Ashoka Buildcon and Tata Power?
So first I'll take Ashoka. Ashoka has been decent, not very exciting as a company, but at the market cap of 4,000 crore and at earnings of 10, I think so it's decent. We will see 2 to 3 quarters. We believe that outperformance will happen into this company with a profit of more than 400 to 500 crores or TTM profit. So hold on to it. And Tata Power, we are extremely bullish. There are all the criteria which is matching in Tata Power. We look at the valuation front, which look at the outperformance of Nifty 500, and look forward for the way the company and the ecosystem is growing. So Tata Power is a great buy and should be added more into the portfolio. Minimum allocation of 5% is a need into it. So Tata Power and Ashoka Buildcon both buy from my side.
Quick view on IRFC, Aditya. Geeta is asking whether it should be bought at levels of 98 where it currently trades. Aditya?
Yeah, just hold on for a second.
You have to pull up the charts.
I think the stock is pretty overheated as of now. If the view is for the short term, let's say 1 month or 2 months just before the budget, then there could be some budget pop in this counter. But if the horizon is little longer term, let's say 1 year, then I think the stock is pretty overheated and there could be significant profit taking or some time consolidation, time correction over here. So that's the view on short term and long term time frame.
All right. Next up, we have a viewer, Atif, who wants to start investing and he wants to invest about 15 to 20,000 and he wants to know what kind of stocks he should start out with. Rohan, any suggestions?
Yeah, I've been a stock fund manager for an stock SIP, and believe me, it doesn't work because it's very hard to find 3-4 companies, and then if it goes up, it is very hard to manage. Better is either you go for a good mutual funds, or if you cannot select mutual funds, if your age is below 40, go forward for junior Bs, that is next 50, or if your age is 45-50, Nifty is the best ETF. So I would recommend not go for a stock SIP. It looks very beautiful, but it is very hard to manage it on a longer term.
I'm going to try and slip in one more. Aparna from Kerala is asking about Sula Vineyard. Do you have coverage on this one, Rohan?
Oh, no, I don't track Sula.
Okay, fine. On the charts then, Aditya, what's the view on Sula?
Right. Post the listing, the stock actually had a fantastic run from levels of 300 to almost 525, and now stock is consolidating in a tight range. I think there's some buying interest at the lower levels like 450, 460. So this is consolidating, and I feel that this would break on the upside as seeing the volumes. So that looks good. If you want to make fresh entry, you could do that at 471, and stop loss should be 440, and target should be 500 to 530.
Right, that's unfortunately all the time we have in this edition of Ask Profit. Thank you, Rohan and Aditya, for joining us today and for answering all the questions. And viewers, Merry Christmas, and we'll be back on Tuesday, same time, 11:30 a.m. Stay tuned. More news and updates coming up on NDTV Profit.